My name is Rhapsody and welcome back to Slay the Spire. I think what I'm going to start doing when this game gets patched, this is my warning, the game has just been patched, is I'm going to go through the patch notes just at the start of each episode, and I'm going to talk about a little bit of the changes and the kinds of things we can expect, because I don't like running into things in the run, or trying to regurgitate the patch notes from memory and possibly missing something. So, patch notes. God, I love this team. Look, they patch, that's 3 days between those patches, and then 2 days between these two patches. This is how you do early access. I love it. And then on top of that, this is the beta patches, the ones that you can get access to in the beta branch of the game. So I think they only push the actual full kind of safe patches to the non-beta branch. So if you want these kinds of consistent patches, I believe you have to log into the beta branch in Steam. For the moment though, let's have a look at the patch notes for today. We have art, don't really care about the art changes, bug fixes, no, none of those are effective. Fixed a bug where Jack of all trades gave duplicate cards. I didn't know that was a bug that it could give duplicate cards. A lot of these are going to be referring to saves, auto saves, and possible exploits that you can do with save and load. I'm going to skip over those because I don't save and load, I don't save scum, I don't do anything like that in this game. I just like to have like a single, complete, unedited run. Alright, gameplay. Added a lot more score bonuses. It's also worth noting at the very bottom, UX, hovering over bonus strings in the score screen will now tell you what they are. So adding all of those score bonuses, I would initially have gone, oh, I don't know about that. I don't know what the bonuses at the moment even are. But now that'll tell me. Added minor anti-cheat logic. Sure, now the leaderboards are going to be a little better, though still probably not that good. Confusion power can now affect colorless cards. That is a problem. I was so pleased that it didn't affect colorless cards, because colorless cards are obviously always 0 cost. So now Confusion just makes colorless cards suck, because they're randomized to be 0, 1, 2, 3. They can be any of those costs. So 100% of the time, they are going to be equal to their previous cost or greater, which sucks. But at the same rate, Confusion is really, really strong at the moment anyway. Expertise is reworked. Expertise used to be you can consistently upgrade this card, and it was kind of like the Searing Blow for the Silent. Searing Blow being you can upgrade it as many times as you like, deal X damage depending on, you know, the amount of levels that you have in it for 2 energy, and then Expertise was for the Silent, and it was the same thing but block for 2 energy. It's now been reworked. It's now cost 1. And it draws until your hand size is 6, and the upgrade is 8. That's actually really, really, really good, because it allows you to run like a really, really extremely lightweight deck, and then just expertise to refill your hand. So it's kind of like an enabler for the silent decks that just play a billion cards in a single turn. Nightmare Plus nerf no longer adds 4 cards, just lowers the energy cost. It was 3 cost. Add 3 cards to your next hand, and then the Nightmare Plus was 2 cost, add 4 cards to your next hand. So I'm totally fine that it no longer adds 4 cards, it just lowers the energy cost. That is pretty much what I expected it to originally be, and then it was kind of significantly above the power curve by updating both the cost and the effect. The rest of these have no effect on us. Alrighty then. Let's go into Ironclad, I think. I'm no longer just going to hold myself to strict alternating between the 2 characters. I'm trying not to, you know, have a random string of just flat out continuing the same character the entire time, but I'll still not specifically alternate, because sometimes I just don't remember who I played last. So, I've had to look over a lot of strategy discussion about this game, because I don't think I'm that good. I mean, I'm okay at this game, but 250 hours in Gungeon, I was still learning a lot of the different basic guns that you would be using, and I was still learning significant strategy for that game. I think I have 1,000 hours in Gungeon now. But for Ironclad, that starting relic is actually ridiculous. And there's only a couple boss relics that are better than it, in my opinion. Losing all gold to gain 16 max HP? It's okay. It's okay. Obtaining a random rare card or obtaining 100 gold. See, the thing is, there's a couple rare cards that I just would never use as this character. I'm actually thinking about the 100 gold. Remove card from a deck or upgrade some cards would have been higher on my list as well. Alright, I'm going to go for the 100 gold. Hey! Early shop. Sure, that's an early card removal. 2 question marks, a shop, a rest, and then I get to go for another boss. And there's only another elite on the center line, so I need to go for that. Alternatively, if I'm not feeling too good after here, I can just dodge that elite and go for another shop. As well as 2 more question marks and 2 more rests. Alright, we're starting here regardless, though. Ugh. That's really unfortunate. You want your opening hand in this fight to be Bash. Bash Strike. And then you want your next hand to have 3 strikes. So I'm accepting 6 damage here because I know that I'm healing 6 damage up at the end of the fight. And this lines me up so that 3 strikes in the next hand will kill. Cool. And I know for a fact, if I don't get 3 strikes, I'll have enough defense to completely protect myself. And then my next hand will at least have 2 strikes for the kill. So it sets me up in a way that I know that I can guarantee I won't take any more damage because either the opponent is dead or I'm going to have enough defense. I like the idea of putting Havoc in a deck, but not more than taking an AoE when I don't have any. I actually really wanted Ornithopter a while ago. Toy Ornithopter. I had the white elephant statue, which gives you a potion after every end. I think I take Apotheosis, though. I can only just afford it. But it is huge. Yeah. It's pretty big. It's gonna save me focusing a lot. Oh, upgrade that Apotheosis immediately. Ridiculous. It's gonna save me from doing a lot of focus on having to upgrade my my cards at campfires. The only problem there is that upgrading my cards at campfires is pretty much all I can do right now. So I need some other benefit that I can get from campfires. So if I get Gerya or Shovel or the Peace Pipe, those 3 are really, really high tier relics for me right now. Because they'll give me something to do at the campfires rather than upgrading and rather than resting. Gerya increase my strength at a campfire for a maximum of 3 times. The Shovel will be dig up a relic at a campfire, and the Peace Pipe is remove a card from your deck. I'll double block here because I've got... Oh, wait, did I have lethal? I think I might have had lethal there and I just beefed it. Easily done. Ooh. Uppercut's actually not that bad. I've been coming more and more around to uppercut. I'm going to take it. Massive light. Upgrade 2 random cards. I'm not too pleased about that. And here I'm going to take another upgrade. Again, not too pleased about this. I don't really think it should be essential, but it is. Okay. This shouldn't be that bad of a fight for me. Uppercut will weaken you for 1 turn, your next turn, but on your first turn, you typically do a low damage attack anyway. So instead, I'm going to make you vulnerable for an extra turn. If my opponent does a 6 damage attack here, I made the correct choice. Yeah. Because I would have saved myself 2 HP by playing Uppercut, because its weakening would wear off after this round, but then I wouldn't have the vulnerability for next round. So the amount of damage that I get to cause for taking this 2 damage that's incoming is ridiculous. Hopefully I draw some more attacks, though. Oh, give me uppercut. I saved myself a lot of HP with this fire potion here, so I'm going to use it. Still super low on relics, which I'm sad about. Oh, God, that's a horrible relic. Ugh. Can we not? Can we not have that happen? I'm going to take Warcry because it's going to upgrade itself with Apotheosis. Scoured by Flames. Scoured by Flames is Sentinels. Sentinels are actually going to be a little harder for me to deal with, but I do have a cleave in my deck, so I'm going to risk it. Courier, sure. And now I'm summoning the Sentinels so I can fight them. I'm going to Warcry because I desperately want to get to my Apotheosis as soon as possible. Put Uppercut back on top of the deck. And Cleave defend. Alright, give me Apotheosis in the next stand, please. I'll Apotheosis Uppercut. Hopefully I don't get that many incoming attacks. Never mind. Wow. That sucks. We're going to take a reasonable amount of damage in this fight, unfortunately, but look, we always were. It's the Sentinels. Yeah, I'm not accepting 8 damage here. I don't need to. Alright. Again, no need to accept this 8. Run those 2 days out of my deck. The rest of my deck's actually pretty good. Give me Uppercut and Cleave, and we've got kills. That's Uppercut and Cleave. Unfortunately, this Sentry is being a real bastard about it. So I'm actually going to go for the absolute damage on the final hit, and then completely defend. We took less damage here than I really thought we should have. And we'll get a relic at the end of the fight. That's, of course, why I let the enemy summon itself here. What? That was changed? Fuck that. Oh. So the whole point of this encounter was supposed to be you can get relics by searching. But then on top of that, if you do summon the enemy, you then get to fight it, and you get a relic at the end. There's no relic here. That's super lame. I'm actually really not pleased about that. Take a headbutt. Still gonna go for another boss, because I need more relics. Tori's good. Second uppercut? It might be just a bit heavy to put a second uppercut in my deck. I'm gonna do it. But I'm not too pleased about it. Okay, uppercut's already got a kill on one of these. The other thing is I don't get to defend myself against the other one, but I only take 1 damage. Fine. Thanks to Tori, I'm only going to take 1 damage here, so I'm okay with that. Overall, this fight is going to heal me by 5. Thank you again, Burning Blood. Pommel Strike, pretty good. Alright. Oh, look, it's these ones again. Yay. Start working him down. Unfortunately, I'm still going to take the maximum 8 on each of these. So I use the regen potion there because I'm going to be around for enough time for it to get full effect. 1 defense actually takes this down to 1 incoming damage, so I'm fine with that. And sets me up for the ability to use a normal strike to kill the center. Hopefully this guy decides to attack this round. I can put something back on top of my deck and then draw it, but is there anything that I definitely want to do? Yeah, I haven't got enough energy to cast any of the cards that I put back on top of my deck, so instead I want to Pommel Strike. Then use another card, and then Headbutt to put probably Pommel Strike back on top of my deck. Yeah, I'll put Pommel Strike back on top of my deck, so Strike. Or I could use a Defend and Headbutt. Completely protect myself here. Yeah, I'll Defend. Never mind. Ah, I ran out of energy and I forgot about it. So used to having some extra energy laying around. Give me Cleave. Ouch, but we are still going to get out of this fight reasonably okay. And the next hand has lethal. Beautiful. I'm really pleased the enemy didn't decide to attack this turn, because there's nothing I can do about it. With these uppercuts, Champion's Belt and Paper Frog are ridiculous trinkets. Yeah, I'd be interested in putting Flame Barrier in this deck, just a defensive card. I might have to play it on the first round, so I'll upgrade it. I also need to upgrade Warcry. I'm just upgrading a bunch of cards. The whole point of Apotheosis is supposed to be I'm not supposed to do this. Unfortunately, I couldn't split the enemy, so this is the maximum damage that I can defend. There's Apotheosis, Warcry, just so they can decide what's on top of my deck. Beautiful. Next turn, give me Headbutt Uppercut. I know I've got Uppercut, but Headbutt as well, please. Alright, 21 on these splits. Unfortunately, Headbutt's at the bottom of my deck, so the only thing I get to put... Oh, yes! I was about to say, the only thing I get to put back on top of my deck is a card that I play this turn. Cleave should be one of those cards. Beautiful. Cleave just goes back on top of my deck. Sure, I waste some energy, but that's correct. It sets up my next turn effectively. Cleave Strike. Thought that was going to be enough. Forgot about all this weakening going on. Delicious. Pommel. This should just be another Warcry. Draw through my whole deck. Sounds good to me. Unfortunately, both Pommel Strike and Headbutt, like 18 together, so I can kill the backliner, and then these two only deal 1 damage each. Yeah, that seems correct to me. 16 block, so I still only take 1 damage, and it'll do a lot of damage by itself. Sure, Flame Barrier here. Now Cleave or a single strike for each of these will kill, and the backline is already dead. Yep. Easy. You can see I've got no real guiding ideal in this deck yet. I've just got a lot of cards. Just a lot of separate cards that are in the same deck. I don't even know what this deck is doing yet. Although I think that's kind of obvious. I want a Warcry so I can put Flame Barrier back on top of my deck so that I have it for the next turn, because my opponent attacks me 6 times next turn. So having my opponent attack me 6 times when I have 6 damage dealt to them each time, it's pretty good. Yeah, this is pretty much what I wanted. So I'll put Bash back on top, drink this, and then I'll uppercut so I can weaken you. So now I'm only actually going to take 2 damage through this, but my opponent is going to take 36. Apotheosis Bash. I only accept 1 damage here, but I set up my vulnerability on the opponent for a bunch of turns. True Grit's good. This is also only 2 incoming damage, so I think I'll just ignore that as well. Tori is so good, depending on the enemy you're fighting. Sometimes it does nothing. Alright. Got another uppercut in there. That's going to be good. Strike, uppercut. Yeah, I'm just going to race you at this point. There's no way you're going to be able to take out all my HP. Dash cleave. Take 2 damage, and then another 2 damage. Tori reduce, Tori reduce. When you can beat the enemy to getting its second full inflame attack off, you're in a really good position. This does 12 damage, actually. As well as protects me against 14. Sure. Here it's useful because my opponent might actually get this attack off if I get a bad draw. Yeah, they're not going to. Bye-bye. I desperately want both Fiend Fire and Feed. I want Feed more. I don't have enough draw in my deck to really do like a giant Fiend Fire. Ooh. I mean, I don't... If I play both of my War Cries, then I still, like, 4 energy after that. Playing 4 normal cards still won't even trigger the Velvet Choker. I think I take the Velvet Choker. Because I have more expensive cards in my deck than usual. And it'll allow me to play 2 of my 2 cost cards on the same turn. Okay, I think it's here, 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 here. So, 2 questions. 2 rests. 2 questions. So it's 5 questions, 3 rests. And I get to choose a shop or a rest if I want to add those in. 2 rests. Yeah, no, it's definitely this one. Just a quick look. Yeah, Flame Barrier Uppercut. Almost completely protect myself, but deal 12 damage from the Flame Barrier and 13 from the Uppercut. Seems pretty good. So 7 becomes 10 with the vulnerabilities. This is going to be 23 on this mugger. That's not that great. If I double defend, I defend myself against 10 incoming damage. Still probably should like that. As much as I want to use Cleave here, you know what? I'll use Cleave, and I'll only defend. Now, here's the thing. Because the one in front will attack first, it'll only deal 1 damage to me. So that was only 1 damage difference rather than 5 damage difference for using the second block. Yeah, I was worried about this. The one in front's going to try and run away instantly. See, the one in back I can kill at any point. I might actually just accept its damage here. Because if I don't go entirely against this one in front, I'm not going to kill it in time. What's my next hand? My next hand is Pommel Strike draws, feed, So both of those will have vulnerability. My opponent's going to get like 10 defense. That's going to be 15. It's going to be 18. 15, 18 is 33. Yeah, no, I'll actually be able to kill you, so never mind. It is prevent the incoming damage. Thanks to this vulnerability, I will be able to kill the looter. Oh, you only got 6 defense. Never mind. It's going to be easy. Pommel strike feed. Boom! Get that max HP. I could take Shockwave, but I already kind of have Shockwave. I could take True Grit, but I need to be removing cards from my deck right now, not adding them. This removes a card, this removes a card, this removes a card, this removes a card. So I actually have 4 fewer cards in my deck than it looks like. And Feed removes itself, but Feed usually sticks around until the end of a fight. So I'm going to hold off on any of those, thank you very much. It should definitely be remove. And we need to start removing the strikes. Yeah. Because despite them being better when they're upgraded, they're still taking the space of something else that could be upgraded. Ooh, that's unfortunate. Normality is... I was really hoping on the 25% there. Thankfully, Singing Bowl is going to be really good for me. And I can just burn Normality instantly. Perfect. You know what? That will work for me, actually. Also, with Warcry, I can manipulate the Normality to a point where I know that I can burn it, or at least ignore it for a turn. I'm gonna Warcry, hoping to draw some Dazed. Damn. Oh, so I'm gonna draw the Dazed so that they would then burn themselves out of my deck. Ooh, 27. Yikes. It's gotta be Flame Barrier or Uppercut. Weaken and defend myself as much as I possibly can. I'm only gonna take 1 damage here. That's actually a huge victory. Three strikes. Literally nothing else I can do, so I may as well just get them over with. Oh, the enemy died in the meantime. Beautiful. Bloodletting's actually probably pretty good in this deck, just because I often end up with more cards than I can use. This deck probably has the least actual theming out of a lot of decks I've run in a very long time. So I just put the Uppercut back on top of my deck. Because it's a higher cost card, so I want it back on top of my deck. So that its cost is randomized. This is pretty good, actually. I mean, if I lose 3 HP, I get to gain 8 block, which protects me against 6. So I guess I protect myself against 3 by using Bloodletting. Overall, it might not be worth it, because speeding my opponent down here might save me more than that 3 HP. Cleave, and then I may as well just True Grit a less expensive card out of my deck. Show me the damage. Beautiful. Let's reject some more cards. Nope, Disarm's amazing. Rest. Yeah, I want a rest that... No, I don't. No, I do. Because I want to upgrade both of those war cries outside of Apotheosis. So that I can use them to dig for Apotheosis. This is why. Disarm and Uppercut are going to be really good here. Beautiful. Since my opponent does many small attacks, this is just going to be really, really, really good. As much as I do want to hit with the uppercut, that's going to result in me having to use bloodletting so that I can use the double defense here. Bloodletting, by the way, I don't want to put more in my deck because it's starting to get to the limit of my Velvet Choker. I'm not going to hold feed for the right time here. I'm just going to use it. God damn it, Apotheosis. Stop being in the bottom of my deck. Really? You had to be literally the bottom card in my deck? Okay, what do I want to put back on top of my deck? Probably Flame Barrier? Considering the way my opponent is acting. So let's put the... What could I have done there? I actually could have put Flame Barrier back on top of my deck there. I could have done the Headbutt, put Flame Barrier back on top, Pommel Strike, draw the Flame Barrier, play the Flame Barrier. That would have not protected me against all incoming damage, and it wouldn't have activated Apotheosis yet. It still would have been pretty good. Here I'm only actually going to take 2 damage, but I'm going to add 2 wounds to my discard pile, which is unfortunate. Give me double uppercut. So I'm going to take a minuscule amount of damage here, thanks to Tori again. My hope being that I can just finish off. Yeah, beautiful. Easily done. We're almost on the Matryoshka. Havoc. Havoc for 0 when I can just manipulate a card to the top of my deck is fine. Unfortunately, I don't want that many things to cost 0. Again, we're starting to get to the breaking point of this Velvet Choker. Meat on the Bone, Oddly Smooth Stone. Pretty good. Burning Pact is also really good. Burn another card out of my deck, get a ridiculous amount of draw. Prayer Wheel! Lose this relic, gain a special new relic. Hell yes. Fuck Prayer Wheel. Finally, Noloth actually took one of my horrible things. Frozen Eye is actually going to be ridiculous in this deck, isn't it? So Frozen Eye is going to be ridiculous in my deck because if I can see my draw order, then I know whether or not I Warcry, and I know whether or not I Havoc, and I know whether or not I Burning Pact, and I know what I'll get from them. So let's get that draw order. Oh, fuck, I want that champion belt. Unfortunately, I can't get it. I don't have the ability to take both Anchor and a card removal, so instead I'm just going to take the card removal. I kind of want to take this other feed as well. Yeah. This could be a problem. I'm pretty much just going to play this entire hand here. Because, gosh, it's hard to get a good defense here. And then 13. Wow, that backline is rough. True Grit's going to be the only card in my hand as well. Yikes. Oh, never mind. Apotheosis, feed for the kill. If I disarm, then I can Havoc to burn this defend and play the True Grit in my deck. That's a good idea. I'll disarm this one. I could also just defend and then Havoc to defend myself against all incoming damage. But actually, Havocing is only going to allow me to take 2, but it burns this defend out of my deck. Okay, sure. So I take 2 here because the first hit deals 2 over, but it gets reduced by Tori, and then 4 doesn't do anything. I put the strength debuff on the Master because since it's not weakened, as long as the enemy is dealing 3 damage, 3 strength down on them is as effective as it is 3 strength down on a creature that's dealing 50 damage a turn. Because it's not percentage based, it's just individual points based. And I leave the Master to last because it does less damage. So putting the debuff on it just makes more sense. I can walk around my way through this entire deck, but it's probably not a great idea. Here, I'm only going to take 2 damage. Courtesy of Tori. Tori is doing a ridiculous amount of work over the course of this run. I'm really pleased about it. Cleave should still be in my deck. Here it is. In fact, I knew it was on top. So, should still be in my deck. It's a little bit of a daft thing to say. I think it's got to be uppercut headbutt here. Then just put that uppercut back on top of my deck. Beautiful. Give me 3 attacks. Or not. That's fine. I'll get the kill next turn. That was a relatively small amount of health to lose there. I do have, by the way, both Meat on the Bone and Burning Blood, so HP loss strategies are a lot more incentivized right now, as well as the fact that since I've got Singing Bowl, Mango, and the 2 feeds in my deck, I'm going to have a lot of max HP no matter what I do. I could easily take Berserk. It won't be active for me for a very long time, but now I can take things like Hemokinesis. Where's the second Warcry? Did I already upgrade the second Warcry? I think I did. I'll always play Disarm as soon as I can possibly play it, so I can't wait for Apotheosis there. Disarm is really good against you as well. Beautiful. Apotheosis, Disarm. Yeah, it doesn't matter the order we do these in. Alright, so we are frail and weak. But you also can only deal a maximum of 3 damage to me per turn. Let's put that bash back on top of the deck. And so now I only take 2 damage. Got another feed in this deck. I just don't want it for a while. Okay, played Pommel Strike for free is pretty good. I could uppercut. It's not actually going to protect me against anything here. But I don't need the extra turn of vulnerability, and I do need the extra damage, so it's Flame Barrier, uppercut. Let my opponent deal a bunch of damage to themselves and just hope that I have feed in my next hand. In fact, I do, because I can see my draw order. This Frozen Eye is actually working really, really helpfully in this run. No. Too late to take any of those. The build's already completely diverged from where those were. I'll upgrade Berserk so that I can just play it whenever I want. Brutality would really be good in this deck again now. Alright, I got burn a card out of my deck there. Okay, I guess. Card Strike. I mean, I'll do that just so that I can burn the Strike out of my deck. Cleave, and then I'll Headbutt to put that Cleave back on top of my deck. Next turn I can use Strength Potion before I Cleave. But I also have Apotheosis there, so I won't need to. Okay. Alright, alright, alright. So I'm taking a wee bit of damage here. But Samaya Wee should take care of a lot of these right now. Let's Warcry. Yeah, I'm gonna take a feed. If I'm using a feed here, then I'm not using the uppercut. Beautiful. I've never actually invoked the limitation of Velvet Choker. Like, it's gotten to 6, but only 6 when I have no more cards in my hand that I want to play. Which means that this deck is well suited for it. I don't need to attack this Torch Head. I'm completely defended against it right now. I'm gonna summon. Alright. Hey, there's another free feed. As much as Cleave would be, you know, handy, just in terms of damage. Good, I actually still burnt the right card, despite the fact that it did the double swap there. True Grit would burn a random card in my hand. If I Bloodlet... I'm not going to Havoc here. I am actually going to be limited by the Velvet Choker this turn. So it's finally happened. Actually, no, I am going to Havoc and burn that out of my deck. Exhausted 2 cards there. So now I've got 13 cards in this total deck of 26. I mean, if I Pommel Strike, I can defend and Flame Barrier. Or I can just double Uppercut. That's not going to kill, though. Okie dokie. Get me below half HP, damn it. Hey, you did it. Now we get a bunch more energy. Now the Velvet Choker is going to be a problem. I need something like a Rampage in this deck. I don't actually have damage. I have the ability to thin out my deck on the fly, and I have a lot of value cards, but I don't actually do anything. Which, you know, is typically considered not good. I don't even know what would be put on top of my deck, but sure, Havoc, burn something for me. Burn to defend out of my deck, ridiculous. Down to 11 cards in this deck. If I Bloodlet first, I can just Burning Pact to draw some cards. Yep. Then I'll Uppercut round out that turn. I kind of don't like that this deck is working, because it's literally just value picks. I think if I followed this as a formula... Another card back on top of my deck and use it? Sure. Boom. Hey, I did actually want to burn Bash out of my deck. I think if I stuck to this kind of an idea and just did value picks and milled a lot of cards out of my deck, I think I could succeed pretty consistently. This was a lot of the strategy that I'm using currently is from a guide that I looked up just to get some insight on other people's playstyles. And it was specifically about how to win streak with the Ironclad. So sure, it would work for me, but I don't know if I want to use it. Because this isn't as interesting, to me at least, as the specific kind of wacky, wild, and fun things you get to do in this game. Burn the other Uppercut from my deck? Sure. Exactly, because if it targets the back line, it's dead. Whee! Limit Break's a win condition, but I don't have any strength in my deck. I'm going to take it, though. Because I thin out my deck enough that I would play Limit Break, like, constantly. And let's also take Black Blood there. So I heal 22 if I'm below half HP at the end of a fight. And by giving myself more maximum HP by declining cards and feeding off of enemies, I'm gonna make it so that my half HP isn't really a dangerous place to be. It's flame barrier 1000% here. I'm gonna true grit the uppercut out of my deck. I don't really want single target things here. Limit Break, unfortunately, is a setup for stuff that I want to have happen later. And then put a feed back on top of my deck. Because with Apotheosis, the feed will kill this Darkling. I get to move the feed out of my deck, as well as get the HP that I'm looking for. Defend to completely protect myself. I've still got one feed left in the bottom of this deck. No, next hand. It's not super likely that I have enough damage to kill in the next hand, is it? Bash for 10, strike for 13, 23 plus 18. 23 plus 18 is... crap, 31. Just short of killing the Darkling. I can't have been just short. I miscalculated that somehow. Sure, I'll Bloodlet and disarm there. Because now I only take 1 damage. Well, 2 damage, rather. Thank you, Tori. I'll Warcry because I can just manipulate something to the top of my deck and then Havoc with it. Sure. I only did Warcry and Havoc there, but it counts as 3 cards, so the uppercut counts as a card there. That's unfortunate. I don't really think it should have. Oh well. Still got the kills. Dex Potion's really good. I'm going to try and save that till the end of the game. I'm going to take a spot weakness, and that's going to be the way that I upgrade my strength over the course of this. I do need some way to gain strength. Bash Pommel because I don't want to get a burn in my deck. Alright. That's a lot of incoming damage. Disarm's definitely going on the mid line. Nine, 10. So hang on. Apotheosis, strike, feed to kill the backliner. Then I disarm here. Havoc will cast disarm as my final actions. Okay, so what do I put back on top of my deck? It's got to be the disarm, right? If I did this correctly... then I defend. Then I Havoc. And this should allow me to cast 7 cards this turn. Because it'll cast Havoc. And then Havoc will cast another card for me. Yep. Good. I actually did manage to bypass that. Because if I did Havoc earlier, it would have shut me out from playing that defend. So unfortunately, I get spot weakness in this hand. Now I'm going to headbutt to put the cleave back on top so that I have some really, really good response to this minion. Beautiful. Unfortunately, Burning Pack's not in this hand. It's in the one after. So I'm just going to be looking to see if I can do 40. No, wait, I have Warcry. Cool. At the moment, I'm going to use Pommel Strike Strike. Defend means I'm only taking 1 damage here, so it's going to be Defend, Strike, and Berserk. And actually, thanks to the Ornamental Fan, I'm not going to be taking that 1 damage. Don't actually want to kill you right now, because there is a feed 2 hands from me. Really annoying that only on the 2 turns that my opponents haven't been attacking am I drawing the spot weakness. Alright, good. Now we're perfectly equipped to make sure that we actually finish this fight with... I forgot that they have the ability to heal. Thankfully, it doesn't matter at all. Oh, get that max HP. No. Yep, I don't need to bloat my deck anymore. 28 cards is already way too many. Funnily enough, if I offer them a feed, I'll get my max HP increased by 10. That's if I offer them any rare card, I get my maximum HP increased by 10. As well as a full heal. Sure. I mean, it lightens my deck a little bit, and it gives me the maximum HP that I was kind of planning on getting from using it. Lose Bash, that's the easiest decision of my life. It was actually one card that I was about to remove, given an opportunity, so... Sure, I can Headbutt. Headbutt to put something back on top of my deck. What do I want to put back on top of my deck? I guess just the maximum amount of damage I can do, so... Ooh, or I could just put Havoc back on top. Fuck yes. Alright then, alright then. Warcry, I can manipulate something to the top of my deck, sure. I can hardcore dig to get to the Apotheosis this turn. Right, then it's Burning Pact, then it's Warcry, sure. No, Burning Pact isn't going to get me far down enough, right? Because I added another card to the top of my deck, and Burning Pact only draws 2 right now. So what I need to do is I Burning Pact, remove Bloodletting, draw 2. Then I Havoc to play that Warcry. Hey! We finally got Apotheosis. Hell yeah. Unfortunate distance I had to go into my deck to get that, but now we're fine. It's gonna be like Pommel Strike True Grit, right? Yeah. And True Grit is Defend out of my deck. Oh, I forgot about the Constricting. Ooh, yeah. No, I'm actually gonna need more defense here. Crumbs. Well, at least I'll get my meat on the bone and blood trigger to really, really help me out here. Burning Pact is actually probably not good in this deck. Really hasn't performed how I'd wanted it to. Okay, so I get to Havoc here. And Pommel Strike. Limit break feed should kill, right? And it does. Give me that maximum HP. Don't need those. Go for the boss. Not Nemesis, not Nemesis, not Nemesis. It's not Nemesis. Beautiful. Flame barrier disarm is definitely happening here. Disarm the one that I'm not planning on attacking. So I'm going to take 0 damage here, so... I guess I just want offensive. Sure. Just put that back on top of my deck. I don't need to Warcry right now. 6 damage to you. 6 damage to you. Unfortunately, if you don't kill these fast, it becomes entirely impossible to kill them. So I'm still trying to pick up the pace here, but it's not particularly working that well. I need some big hits. I need those thunders. Sorry, the uppercuts. Actually just going to use feed here to get it out of my deck. And now we're going to start taking a bunch of damage. Yeah, this is unfortunate. Right. A Warcry. So cleave back on top of the deck because I'm going to be Burning Pacting a burn. I'm going to be True Gritting a burn. Got an uppercut. Oh. This deck is not fast enough to take out this enemy. I mean, there's no real choice in what's played here. So yay, I guess. I've got only one left. Still not great. My next hand's gonna have a bunch of burns. God, I hope Havoc kills the backline. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to waste a uppercut there. Nope, that just burnt a burn out of my deck. Wow. Alright, Havoc. Then Berserk. And then I'm actually dead. Fuck yeah. Deck wasn't fast enough to do anything. The Orb Walkers are rough. They used to just be a fight on this floor. Not an elite. They were a fight. Okay, increase your max HP by 30. Ooh, that's actually a really cool stat. Unfortunately, none of the other ones are special. So that's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the idea of just taking a bunch of value picks. Because that deck was all about just taking a bunch of value picks. And it got to the end, and then it couldn't do anything. Because you don't need to be valuable or powerful in the late game. You need to be broken. You need to be degenerate. You need some actual thing in your deck that is going ridiculous. Otherwise, you're just going to tread water in some fights like that. The Nemesis probably also would have done me dirty like that. I didn't really have enough defense to block the 40 damage attacks from the Nemesis. So I could have considered just dodging all of the elites and then going to the final fight. But unless the final fight is the awakened one, I was probably just going to die there as well. I also should check the final fight much earlier every single time I start a floor. But I'm yet to make a habit of that. I will continue trying to do so, however. For the moment, my name is Rhapsody. The name of the game is being Slate. That's why hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you next time. Gerald. Hopefully we'll see you next time, Gerald.